Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stella Escobedo.
And I'm Eric Connor. We still want to give you your local news here, even though we are in that special report for the Robert Mueller testimony in Congress on our CBS broadcast channel right now.
And we do want to take a live look right now. This is a live picture where Mueller will be testifying for about 3 hours. In his opening statement, he made it clear that he will not be able to address various topics. Lawmakers each have about 5 minutes to ask questions.
No real bombshells that
No.
we've heard anything yet. He had said all along he was just going to be talking about what he had discussed in his first testimony.
Yeah, and so we do want to know, how much of Robert Mueller's testimony will you be watching? All of it, some of it, or none of it? Head to cbs8.com/vote. It looks like the majority of you are saying none of it, 56%.
President's been pretty busy on Twitter here this morning, so he's gotten a few tweets out as well. You can look at them here on the screen. This one says it's been reported that Robert Mueller is saying that he did not apply and interview for the job of FBI director and get turned down the day before he was wrongfully appointed special counsel. Hope he doesn't say that under oath. So he's gotten a few tweets out there. This one talking about, including the Vice President of the United States. This one is the one everyone's talking about in all caps: no collusion, no obstruction. So you can follow the president's tweets as well. We will be following the developments all morning long, and we'll have updates for you over on the CW at 7 and 8.
Now, we do want to catch you up on some local headlines. An important vote today could provide some relief to a local school district struggling to get out of the financial mess that it's in.
The county school board will be considering a loan for the Sweetwater Union High School district. News 8's Netta Ranpur is live in Linda Vista with these details. Netta?
Yes, good morning, Stella and Eric. We are right outside the County Board of Education office, and this is where they'll be voting later on today on whether they want to offer a $12 million loan to the Sweetwater School District. That's the amount the district is in debt. Now, this debt, their budget problems, has led to problems for students and has also led to a lot of protests. High school students will not get laptops this year because of the budget problems. They had to cut free bus routes for San Ysidro High School. Parents and students took to the streets saying the district is ignoring their children's needs and they should not let budget problems affect their education. So hundreds of students now have to walk, many of them waking up 2 to 3 hours earlier every morning to go that few miles to get to class.
Yeah, they weren't thinking about the students, and they thought that they need money, so they're trying to cut off every like helpful. What's it called? They're trying to cut off the transportation. It's wasting them a lot of money, and they need the money.
So some students have said they want the superintendent to put students first, as stated in the district slogan. Many students are planning a walkout on Friday to try and get the attention of the school district, saying their needs should be a priority. Now, as for the budget, Sweetwater District was borrowing money from its building fund, also known as Melrose, to pay off its debt. But they're required to pay that back very quickly, and they have not been doing so. So they are currently not in compliance, which is why the County Board of Education is now voting to offer that loan. If they do agree to offer the loan, it's still not certain, though, if district officials will accept it. And that's the latest right here outside the Board of Education building. I'm Netta Ranpur. I'll send it back to you.
Netta, thank you. Another local parent charged in the college admissions scandal will plead guilty. Solana Beach resident Jeffrey Bizak will enter his plea today in a Boston federal court, answering to charges of conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. Investigators say Bizak paid $250,000 to get his son into USC as a fake volleyball recruit. Bizak could face up to 9 months in prison and a $75,000 fine. He is the 51st person charged in the scandal. And a 13-year-old boy was killed and 3 others hurt after a crash in Rainbow. It happened yesterday afternoon on Old Highway 395 at Rainbow Glen Road. Officers say the boy's mother stopped at a stop sign, then drove into an intersection where their SUV was hit by a semi-truck, which had the right-of-way with no stop sign or light. The boy's mother, a 6-year-old girl, and the truck driver were all taken to the hospital. The crash also caused a small brush fire, which firefighters quickly put out.
An 18-year-old who was born in the U.S. has been released from immigration custody after wrongfully being detained for more than 3 weeks. Francisco Irwin Galicia left an ICE detention center in Pearsall, Texas yesterday. He was born in Dallas and had a Texas ID, Social Security card, and a birth certificate on him when he went through the Border Patrol checkpoint. But there was confusion over his documents because he also had a tourist visa listing his place of birth as Mexico. His attorney says Francisco was given the tourist visa from his mother, who said he was from Mexico in order to visit family members on both sides of the border.
He's a U.S. citizen, natural-born U.S. citizen. His mother had obtained a tourist visa, but Francisco did not apply for that visa. He's a U.S. citizen, and we need to focus that U.S. citizens cannot be detained.
Francisco was released a few hours after the Dallas Morning News first reported his detainment. He has since been reunited with his mother. Today, DMV offices across California will be closed for half a day. This comes ahead of October 2020, when you'll need a real ID for domestic airline travel and to enter federal facilities, including military bases. As many as 28 million people could be signing up for one.
That's a huge number of people. In order to accommodate that type of volume, we need to be prepared.
During the morning hours, DMV staff will be retrained on customer service skills and processing real ID transactions. People will still be able to conduct transactions online or at self-service kiosks while offices are closed. A popular La Mesa farmers market will stay put after a narrow win in City Council, passing 3-2. Officials gave it the green light to stay in the La Mesa village. Residents packed the City Hall meeting to voice their concerns. Some business owners in the area said they wanted the market moved because of lack of parking costing them business. They suggested to move it to the Grossmont Center, but an overwhelming number of residents pleaded for the market to remain as is.
A warning for swimmers and surfers that is in North County. Sharks have been spotted off the coast of Del Mar. Lifeguards posted a shark advisory sign after confirmed sightings of juvenile white sharks. There it is. There is that sign. We're told none of the sharks approached the shore or displayed any aggressive behavior. In fact, shark experts told lifeguards in the area there is no cause for concern, but the advisory will remain up as a precaution. And a woman in Claremont has been getting up close and personal with nature. Yeah, she says she spotted 2 bobcats in 2 days in her backyard. Take a look at it. We confirmed with a wildlife expert who says it is a healthy bobcat. The expert says it likely won't be there for long. The homeowner, however, says seeing wildlife in her backyard is no surprise, but these cats did kind of catch her off guard.
He was hissing at me. He was sitting on the fence physically going, he was like, I'm going to get you. I'm like, no, there's a screen there. It was odd, though, to see it during the day. They say that most of them are pretty nocturnal, but it was during the day.
Wildlife experts recommend if you feel threatened by a bobcat, make lots of noise, slowly back away, don't run, and spray water with a hose if you have that. Accessible. Yeah, just because you have it right there with you.
I got one. Well, even the big cats don't like water, because the cat I've had that around water, no.
They didn't like it?
No.
Mine love it. They like stuck their head under the faucet
really?
and would sip. I'm just curious to see who's walking around with the. I feel like you have a hose.
I'm telling you,
There you go.
In your backyard, there's usually one accessible. If there's a bobcat there, I'd grab it.
That's true. That if you're in your yard, for sure.
So trending here this morning, Jenny, remember the threatening
Yes.
letter that was sent home to parents in Pennsylvania? It was all over school lunch debt. Got a lot of people concerned and a little frustrated.
So you're here now with an update.
This is an interesting
It really is.
update. Okay, so basically the letter said the district could take parents to dependency court where their parents could lose their kids to foster care because they weren't providing their kids with food, aka they weren't paying off their debt. We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts using the hashtag UpWith8. Obviously, we're live on Facebook right now, so I'm looking at your comments as we speak. So this story gets even crazier. A Philadelphia businessman says he offered to pay off the $22,000 debt that led to the district sending this letter. Todd Carmichael, that's his name. I did a little digging on him. He says he grew up poor. His family relied on food stamps, so he wanted help.
Okay.
He didn't want these kids to feel the shame that he says he felt. He felt embarrassed. Carmichael says he was rejected by the school board president because, quote, the parents who owe the money, they can pay for it.
This is ridiculous.
They can afford it. Let them pay
Take
out.
the money if that's the issue.
Right.
Yeah, so he says by the district saying no, the district is shaming families. And plus, they're placing a burden on taxpayers. Who's going to end up paying this debt? The taxpayers. So the Wyoming Valley West School Board Vice President is battling it out with district leaders who actually sent that letter demanding an apology. As for the businessman, Todd Carmichael, he says, hey, my offer still stands if the district changes its mind. I will pay off this debt so kids can eat their lunch and not be, threatened to be sent
Take
into
it and call it
foster
a day.
care.
Yeah.
kidding.
So you guys are weighing in, blowing up on our Facebook page here. Fran says, I find this hard to believe. All they want is the money. They have no reason to hold these kids hostage and embarrass them.
Yeah.
Crystal says, if I had the money, I'd pay the debt under the condition that all involved in the school district resign. Christina says the school board clearly needs to be fired and restructured. You can't punish people for being poor. But the district is saying they're not poor. You got the money.
And when we did this story a couple days ago, you did your research as well, and majority of the students there come from
I think
families
it's like
who don't have enough
one
money.
of the poor districts, and plus the poverty level, I guess, is going up there. Lonnie says that is just ridiculous. We were fortunate enough one year for someone to pay off a lunch balance. We didn't even know that we accumulated. We were all on one income at the time, and when I got called to get it settled, they told me it already been taken care of. So people are actually weighing in live as well.
What are they saying?
So Simon says this school district is a joke. Come on, district, let the guy pay.
Yeah, I mean, that's $22,000. If that's the big issue is the money, you've got it, right? And if the issue with the district is, hey, look, we want to make sure that parents don't continue to do this, so something has to be done, why don't they like volunteer? The people that owe money, why don't they come in and volunteer their time instead of having to cough
I remember
up
when
the
we
money?
initially ran this story, somebody from the district was interviewed, and he was not remorseful. He had this like attitude of, well, it got the parents' attention. Do you remember that?
Right.
Yeah. And do you think if the parents could afford it, they're just not paying? Like, obviously, and there should, we also talked about that there's going to be a program, a federal program
that's going to help them out.
Kids from families who are income, have that inequality that they can still have lunch and not be shamed for this. I think we had another comment. Max says taxpayers are paying for the corrupt politicians.
Keep chiming in.
We're reading them, so.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Jenny. From surf and stand-up paddleboard lessons to packing the perfect beach bag.
Yeah, we've got you covered for a day at the beach. News 8's Ashley Jacobs is live from La Jolla Shores with who to call for lessons and what to pack. Good morning, Ashley.
Hey, good morning to both of you. I feel like the second half of summer, people really get focused on that back to school mindset, but summer's not over. You can still get your kids into surf lessons and camps starting at ages 5 and up at Surf Diva, Izzy.
Good morning. Aloha.
Aloha. So tell me what we need to know about getting our families involved in these lessons.
Yes, so we offer lessons to kids ages 5 and up, girls and boys, men and women, anybody, and we do all different levels from beginner to advanced.
So you've been in part of the community since 1996, and you have a couple different brands floating around out there. So tell us exactly what schools you're associated with.
Yeah, so Surf Diva is the mother school, and then we have programs for kids at La Jolla Surf Camp ages 5 to 10. Our teen and tween program is the American Surf Academy for ages 12 to 17. And then Mini Uni Surf is for all ages.
All right, wonderful. We're going to talk more about those surf lessons in depth coming up on News 8 Morning Extra. But right now, for all of you who are not surfers, or maybe you are parents who just want to enjoy a day at the beach while your kids take those surf lessons, we are going to tell you what to pack in your perfect beach bag. And for that, we call in our friend Jen. Jen, you have the perfect beach setup here, starting with these towels. I am obsessed with these since you laid them out this morning.
Oh my gosh, these towels are the best. These are from Tesselit, and they have great designs. They're designs on both sides, so you have this pretty pattern, and then the back side. They're lightweight, super absorbent. They dry in half the time that a regular towel does. The best part is sand doesn't stick. So it's made from this fabric called Absorb-Lite. So sand never sticks, even when it's wet. It's mind-blowing. It's my favorite.
All right, and then you have our models in these great suits that will be lounging on those towels once the sun comes up today.
Of course, get ready to blow up your Instagram feed. Show us some skin. This is Krupa Couture. It's slimming swimsuits. They give you shape, and they support, which is my favorite part. They have cup sizes from A to double D. And then if you turn around, they have pretty details like the lace back right here. Thressa has that pretty detail in the front. And of course, when you want your hair out of your face, I hate when hair sticks to me. These are the modern scrunchies by Madison and White. Get your hair out of your face. It doesn't pull your hair out. You know which ones do those.
Right. Now, these boards actually came from the Surf Diva Surf Shop. These are some of their best sellers because they're easy. They fit in your carry-on, but they fit nicely in these great beach bags that you brought.
It's so easy to take, and it's fun for kids to just take their board and hop into the water and paddle away. But yeah, you definitely need a sturdy beach bag. So this is Teddy the dog. Their tote, and they have fun and witty graphics. It's called Naughty Dog. Isn't that so fun? So it's lined, and it has a zipper so you can keep your keys in there, your snacks, and sunblock and sunny. I brought my snacks.
I know, and in a dog-loving city like San Diego, these bags will be hot sellers. So last but not least, real quickly, tell me about these. What makes these water bottles so good?
Okay, so this is Misu, and they're a local company, and they have a bunch of insulated water bottles and tumblers. These are my favorite. So these specifically, starting next month, once you buy it for back to school, you can personalize it for $10.
Nice.
They're amazing. So this is my favorite because it comes with a recyclable straw.
Okay.
I love them. They're so gorgeous.
Very cool. Well, as we send it back to you in the studio, Stella, Eric, Jen may or may not have heard that it was Stella's birthday. And since we are one big happy family, Stella, happy birthday to you. Your birthday this weekend. And don't forget about me. I want to party with you this weekend.
Right. All of us.
Eric, you got to look good fitting in. And Heather, there you go.
Look at
Pretty
that.
in pink.
Christmas in July. I love that.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it.
Happy birthday, an early happy birthday to you.
It's on Saturday.
It's on Saturday.
But I'm celebrating all week, you know.
Yeah.
What am I, chopped liver?
Where's Jenny?
Who wouldn't?
Where's Jenny? Is asking about hers.
I think that Jen
We got a Sharpie somewhere. We got a Sharpie somewhere we can add our name to
I
that.
see how it is. Just wait.
It's in the bag. It's deep in the bag.
It's in the bag.
Yeah.
She said
Deep
it's in the bag.
I think.
Sure. Yeah. The
I
segment's
didn't know you were
getting cut off.
standing right there. I didn't know Jenny was
we can
standing
share
right
mine.
there.
I'll put your name on the other side.
That's really cool. Great idea out there. Thanks, Ashley. That was a fun segment.
Thank you, Ashley. Oh, I'm feeling special, feeling loved.
And Jenny, you're not.
No, I feel like
I brought my Sharpie. I'll put your name on the other side. and we
Wait,
can
okay,
share it.
so a few minutes ago we were talking about that like school district
Yeah.
thing. People are still chiming in. Can I read one comment
Yes,
before we go?
please.
So Anthony Rodriguez says there's a clear disconnect between the school board and community. A man offered to pay the entire debt and they said no.
Yeah.
Who says no to money? That's my ad-libbing there. If you can't comprehend that you're serving a low-income district, then you have no business representing this district.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling the way he's feeling. Like if the money was such an issue and someone's willing
Just
to
take
pay
it.
I'll take it.
Yeah. But like I said, the first time we did this story, we heard somebody from the district, I don't remember the representative, he just had this arrogant attitude. And he was like, well, you know, it did get the parents' attention when we sent
We got to
this
teach
letter
him a
out.
lesson.
Yeah,
He
I just
clearly
didn't
has
like.
never fallen on hard times. Sometimes you need to be a little empathetic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
It's about feeding our kids, right?
Yeah.
And if they're not well fed and they don't have the energy, then they can't learn in class. That lunch
That's
is
for
so
sure.
important for them.
Jenny, was that your way of distracting from not getting a
Yes!
It really worked. You totally distracted these two. They were on to the next subject immediately. Job well done over there.
Diversion. I just felt
Me,
so
however,
bad.
I didn't let it go. Let's get you caught up on your forecast for today. You will definitely want to be sipping on some iced tea a little bit later today because it's going to be warm out there across San Diego County. 71 degrees at Limerick Field, dew point temp at 67, humidity up to 87%. Winds are calm. Hot and humid, friends. It does not feel very San Diego-like out there. Pretty sticky, and it's going to stay that way for the next couple of days. More clouds in the afternoon. Inland, friends, we could even see some light scattered showers again because we're going to get mountain and desert thunderstorms, and some of that activity in isolated areas may work its way west of the mountains. That area of high pressure and the clockwise rotation around it continues to tap into some of that subtropical moisture, and that is why we are feeling a little bit more sticky this week compared to the past several weeks. Monsoonal moisture moving on in. 81 degrees at the beaches today, 94 inland, and friends, it may even feel a little bit warmer than some of these temperatures are showing simply because it will be humid out there. We'll stay with the humid conditions tomorrow through Friday, drier over the weekend. As we get into the weekend, we're back to the upper 70s at the beaches, still in the low 90s though for most of our inland valley areas. 93 in the mountain communities today, afternoon chance of thunderstorms, 108 in the desert today. Ooh, look at Saturday, 115 in Borrego.
It's that time of the year.
Things are really heating up out there. All right,
it
before we
sure
go,
is.
let's check in on our morning poll. We asked how much of Robert Mueller's testimony are you planning on watching? All of it, some of it, or none of it? And guess what? A lot of you aren't watching any of it, and you're watching us instead. So there you go.
60% say none of it. So turn over to the CW at 7 for updates on Mueller's testimony and your local news, weather, and traffic.
Thanks for joining us, folks.